I wonder how you feel about this decision, because I would imagine you just leave and film your adult film somewhere else.
Well, we were doing that before it even happened. This Ninth Circuit decision, obviously we're going to appeal it to the Supreme Court. I've been there 5 times before. I struck out 3, but it's still a pretty good batting average. But as far as the photo shoots themselves, I've spoken with all the adult houses in the city, and they're either doing a desert, they're doing Mexico, the Caribbean, or Canada. There's a lot of other venues where you can go and shoot, and it's not really even increasing their overall budget, because instead of doing a 2 or 3 day shoot, if they go to Mexico, they do a 2 to 3 week shoot. So the whole thing about this is that the public is not getting the truth about this. This is not protecting actors from disease. What it is it's an orchestrated effort to try to shut down the adult industry, and this is the way that they're doing it. With all the testing that we have in Los Angeles for the actors that star in these films, you would be more likely to get an STD from a one-night stand than you would to be a porn star, you know? I mean, it's just, we've been in the last 20 years, we've had maybe a half a dozen cases of HIV, which if you compare that to the national average, it's very minimal.
There are still some companies that are playing ball, right? I mean, Vivid, I believe, already uses condoms in a lot of its films.
Yeah, but we've done marketing testing with this, and so has all the houses that I know of, whatever the reason is, whether it's a psychological barrier or what, people just do not buy films where the actors are using condoms.
Let me ask you, Larry, how much are people buying anyway? I mean, I recently asked Millennial about porn viewing habits, and she said, why would I ever buy something when everything comes on tube sites for free?
Well, or you can download it on cable or get it off the internet. That's true. That's why publishing is doing very poorly, and that's why the DVD business is doing poorly. But there's going to always be a market for porn. It's just a question of being able to deliver a quality product that people are interested in. But one thing you've got going that people have not addressed recently is that 20, 25 years ago, this was a man's thing. It's not anymore. You know, women watch pornography with their husbands and boyfriends. So this is a fact, and it shows up in surveys that we run. So the whole dynamics of the industry is changing.
For sure. You know, I recently read a story on Slate.com called Vampire Porn about a company, MindGeek, also known as Manwin, which apparently owns like 90% of tube sites, and some people say is very liberal with its taste as far as what it'll put on those tube sites, maybe even stealing some copyrighted material. What do you think about this supposed monopoly in the porn industry on the internet?
Well, the copyright is a big problem, and all the free stuff that's winding up on the internet, most of it is plagiarized, and you know, you don't get much help dealing with the government on those issues because of the business that we're in. But it's starting to police itself, and I believe that's going to shake itself out pretty soon.
You know, Sony recently got a few films stolen, and what they've done is to put out almost kind of a malware on the BitTorrent sites to dissuade people from downloading their movies. Obviously, a lot of the movies that you make, that you pay for, that you finance, end up going out for free on these BitTorrent sites or on the tube sites. What do you do to try and beat that?
Well, this whole thing with Sony, I think, is a whole lot to do about nothing. If this was some government computer being hacked. It'll be a small story in the New York Times, maybe. But I think because a lot of celebrities were involved, they're making a big deal out of it. I don't really see it as a big deal.
No, of course. I mean, it's just interesting to a lot of people that Sony executives themselves consider their talent talentless. But the point is they're losing money on products that they've invested in, and you are as well, right? I mean, how do you stop the Internet from giving away the money that you've invested in free 5-minute clips?
Well, there's no way you can really stop it. That's the ongoing problem with the Internet now. You've got much more control over this in broadcast television, which we're very big in worldwide, for that matter, now as a content provider. But I agree with you. The Internet is a problem. No one has been able to solve it. I don't think that these people that are putting out this material for free, I can't see that they're making very much money at all. And I think eventually they're going to get out.